Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to another randomised gaming stream. Oh, I'm just going to turn that music down a little bit. Well, at some point I might just turn it up so you guys can listen to the fantastic Thunder Force 3 soundtrack. So, hello and welcome. My name is Random Gamer Riven, and I am the editor of Randomised Gaming, and welcome to tonight's Randomised Gaming weekday stream. And in today's stream, we'll be looking at the iconic Tecnosoft I suppose arcade-style shooter is the name, or Shmup as some people like to call them. The arcade-style horizontal shooter, Thunder Force III. And it was released in 1990, and it was published on the Sega Mega Drive. It was developed by Tecnosoft, and it was published by Tecnosoft. Apparently in the US it was released by Hot B, and it didn't get a proper European release, but weirdly there was some grey imports where some company imported US versions into Germany, I think France, and localised the manual, so they're technically available in some European territories. It's a Region 3 game, as you can imagine, if they were literally using US copies. This was actually a very early Mega Drive game, although this first Thunder Force 2, I think was a really early game. This is probably the one I would say that the Thunder Force series really hit its stride on. And the original Thunder Force series, the original Thunder Force is pretty much an obscure oddity because it's so, you never hear anything about it. The second game had a mixture of top and horizontal, and the horizontal sections weren't great. So let's jump into it. Oh, I didn't pick any options, but never mind, I just did the normal. Let's start with Hydra, seeing it's just the easy stage. Now, I haven't played this in a while, and Thunder Force is a memory shooter in literally every enemy is positioned to attack in the same way. So if you remember where they are, you can literally repeat the same flying pattern. So this is not really a true reaction shmup, it's more a memory shmup. Some still level of reaction, but it's basically overall a better shmup. Once you remember everything, you know where they're coming from, you can avoid a lot of the attacks. It's not something like the cave shooters, which are more down to luck than skill at some point with the patterns. And it's one of the reasons why, oof, that's not a good start. I've just lost the satellites, which are really key to getting the best score in this. So this one actually later got ported to the arcade game, although basically Thunder Force Arcade was actually a port of this, weirdly, but a few changes, a couple of different levels, and they did port Thunder Force Arcade to the SNES as Thunder Spirits, although Thunder Spirits is a pretty ropey version due to the amount of slowdown it has. It literally, the whole game is in mass slowdown. There's a few other problems with it as well. It's interesting to see it, interesting to play it. I do have a copy, but when I bought it I was told by one of the other heavy gamers with the words, "Don't get it, it's rubbish," and sure enough he was dead right. It is nowhere near as good as the Mega Drive versions. Main being the Sega Mega Drive had a much faster CPU than the Super Nintendo, which is why the Super Nintendo struggled a lot with fast-paced games. I had to use a lot of chips to go around it. Now, I will be dying a lot in this. I'll probably be restarting a few times as well. Okay, I've got the clawless attack. So this is the game I would say the Thunder Force series really hit its stride in. This is probably the first one where they really got everything just right. It's been a while since I played through this, so I'm going to die horribly in lots of places because a lot of the deaths are very much unless you know exactly what's going to happen, you're going to die. This boss is quite iconic. It was actually reused in Thunder Force 6. But what's weird about this is the fact it never got a European release. It's a really quality shooter. So it's always surprising it never got a European release. Yeah, ironically, once you actually pick your starting stage, it then throws you into the order you're going to do the rest of the stages. You can't then pick the other stages. So this is one with lots of set up fire traps you need to be aware of. And I'm definitely going to die alive. In fact, those... Once you have the roots down, it becomes quite a relatively easy game. In fact, all Tecnosofts are mainly like that. They're all very much memory shooters. So, Thunder Force 4, even Blast Winds, which we did a playthrough of a while back, I basically just practiced at it till I learned everything. It's a proper... It feels much more skillful than, say, the cave games, which... The cave games themselves actively sometimes rely on RNG. So I'm not a big fan of some of the cave shooters, I have to admit. They're good games, but they're not great games. The ones that got it right basically have what I describe as a complete defense, because bullet hell shooters where you've basically got everything coming at you left, right, centre, you really need what I describe as a complete defense in order to survive. A few of these... Thunder Force 6 weirdly is a bit of a homage to some of the other games, so there's a stage very reminiscent of this stage, and indeed the bosses in this turn up as well in Thunder Force 6. But if you have a power-up and you collect it again, you'll get 1,000 points. Shields are very helpful. They're rare to pick up, but when you do get them, they are very... Just taking a hit on the shield, annoyingly. And I've just lost it. Okay, there's Hunter, which is the homing one. Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. You need to be ready for where some of the things move, or else you're going to take hits. Dying only loses the equipped weapon, so if it's not powered up, you're not going to lose it. But you do lose your claws. A changes speed in this, so it is... You've got basically true to speed. I generally stick it at 3. 4 is the fastest, and 1 and 2 are really slow. Lovely warping effects on this one. Ooh. There's one boss down. This is quite an easy boss fight. It does appear in some of the other games as a sub-boss, actually. 146 it was reused as sub-boss, I think on the first stage as well. Okay, that's not too bad. I've done the first 2 stages without too much dying, because the practice run I did the next 2 stages and died horribly and didn't even get past them. So I will put the music up a bit later. Oh yes, they drag you in, don't they? I will actually stop speaking just so the music play, because I know Tecnosoft's music is legendary when it comes to consoles. Yeah, that section's really nasty. Actually, got to shoot the base, not the shell of that thing, so... I decided to do this one over the other ones as 2's not that great, and 4... We've covered quite a bit before of the channel, and I will cover again. In fact, I'll probably do long plays of all of them. And then quick sip of tea while I sort this out. Right, blow that up from the get-go. B changes weapon, no, C changes weapon, B shoots. You just have to hold down the fire button in this, which means it's a good shooter, knowing to rapidly press it and destroy your joypads. Again, you got me with that quick rush. If you get too close, they basically detonate those things. Each of the weapons has their different perks, and so you want to use them in certain situations. Hunter's quite good for dealing with enemies in awkward positions, but it's by far one of the weakest ones. So you can tell if you're damaging them if you see an orange circle around them. So you'll see a blue and orange there. Blue means they're not taking damage. Orange means they are, so this is worth remembering that if you're hitting an enemy, it's giving you a blue thing, it means that area is immune to damage. Very simple colour tactic to show whether hits are damaging or not. Quite handy because I've got Hunter, I can stay out of range of this thing. I took a shield hit there when it went through me. This is what I mean about practice makes perfect in this game. Everything's always the same, so you need to remember what went on. Got me again. You've got to stay low to trigger them. So that one I'm going to detonate. Basically go up to it early and detonate them so I don't get killed in the flak this time. It's all about learning the enemy patterns, and that way you will instantly become a better player. Really do with the satellites, or claw as they're known in Thunder Force. So the upgrade for the main weapons are the lasers, and they shred through everything. I'm not having much luck taking that thing down. That was a pretty awful run. And this is what I mean, you need to practice and learn the routes of this. So I'm going to beat this stage, in fact I'll beat them all, but it's a case of getting to know the Thunder Force series. It's always the same when you play it. You get better by remembering where the enemies are. So what I needed to watch out for in this next run, seeing as in the last run's the opening section. Let's trigger them early, so we can take them out that time. Okay, that time I'm trying to avoid getting hit by them. Okay, yes, got through. Actually managed to blow that one up. Oh, the extra life, which I didn't get before. Ah, you can actually shoot through there as well. And you go through there. Oof! Thought I was a goner there for a second. Thought I was moving too fast. Actually, Wave is vastly more powerful than the default weapon. And it gives you a bit more spread. You just have to keep the spread on the enemies. And there's that beautiful Tecnosoft music. So through there. Okay, and this is what I mean about learning the patterns. That time, no, I've got here with no lives lost. And that's basically Thunder Force down to a T. You basically learn the patterns. So in this one I'm looking for every other shot it will fire its main lasers. Got it. Oh, just missed. And I missed that power up annoyingly. Yeah, I was slightly playing this stage earlier, so I know where the sections are going to start trying to crush me. At least I've got Hunter as well, so I can shoot. And we have some of that beautiful Tecnosoft music. Hi 8-bit Snow. Hi 8-bit SNK boy. Thanks for joining the stream again. Welcome back. Yep. We're doing Thunder Force III today. Oh. Just to get another power. I seem to have a habit of doing that. Keep my hunters. We're looking at one of the... Hi, Nico. Oh, you guys both joined at the same time. Welcome to the stream. I will be a little bit more quiet today, as this is one of those games I have to concentrate on. So I won't be able to check your comments as much. Apologies, guys. Else, otherwise, I'll be dying spectacularly. It is... I think this is basically the game that I think did create the Thunder Force series, because the first two games... Both of them are sort of a bit archaic. The second game's not bad. I think that starts it, but I think this one really got the format just right with its directional change. So we went from being 2D top down to side scrolling, and then fully side scrolling in this outing. And this is some truly, for 1990, this has some truly amazing Mega Drive music. As we really got to whiz ahead at this bit, and I've got to be careful. I'll slow down a bit there. That's where all these bits jump out at you. You basically want to preempt them, so you can kind of tell which blocks it's going to be. So there's probably that one there. Yeah, once you get the claw, that's when you really have the advantage. And I was too slow there, so that punishes me. Again, too slow there, missed that power. This game does have very clever ways of punishing the player. Such as going through. Every single shooter on the SNES. Yeah, there are some good SNES shooters. In fact, ironically, 8-bit SNK Boy, this did get ported to the SNES. The arcade version got ported, but it wasn't a patch on the Mega Drive version. Thunder Force 5 is very, very good on Saturn. I think Thunder Force 5 is probably my fave, although I would argue Thunder Force 4 is probably the best game in the series. Thunder Force 6 is a bit too much of a remake in places, but Thunder Force 6 is very good on the PS2. Try and remember where the enemies come so I don't. Ow! Okay, I've got server that time at least. Should actually resort to this, the ceiling weapon. Okay, right, stay low. That bit's really hard to avoid. You have to go right into the rock. And ironically, the Saturn Gold packs are really good. We have previously covered them a little bit. I need to cover them more. The Saturn's Gold packs, I think, arguably are slightly better than these versions, because they add an additional commentary. They slightly address the audio issues as well. I always got the impression Tecnosoft may not have been overly impressed with some of the limitations of the Mega Drive on Thunder Force 4. They also slightly improved the music, I felt. Although I've seen one or two people moan, no, the Mega Drive version's the best. Well, it may be the original, not always the best. But there are one or two flaws with the Gold Pack versions, but I think... Okay, I want to stay forward because that one's going to come down right at the end. Right, slow down at this point. Yeah, I think 4 definitely takes everything they learnt from this and improves it hugely. I think 4's only issue on the Mega Drive, it is plagued with quite a lot of slowdown in places. Hi Cher, thanks for joining the stream. We've got a 4. Ooh, I just missed that. Oh, got it, that second run. Okay, and that's a shield. Hi Cher. Hello. Everyone comes on stream a bit late today, that's cool. Very much appreciated you guys all being here. Yeah, I think this is definitely one of those Mega Drive games that when it first came out really showed what the Mega Drive could do. It's a shame it never got a proper European release. It was slightly weird. Ooh, Right, I've got the lasers and the claws for the first time, so I should be able to wreak havoc on this boss if it doesn't kill. This is definitely a game you've got to concentrate on. Again, it is really, as I said, a memory. The Thunder Force. Oh, still doing Dawn of the Man. Yeah, no, I think it's quite a good one. Yeah, no, we've got both the Saturn Gold packs. So if you haven't got them, they're quite an easy way to play the Mega Drive original, especially because the Saturn Gold packs have a few extras, like Thunder Force 4 has the Thunder Force 3 ship in it. I should have spent some time with Dawn of the Man myself. Oh, it's nice to see you all guys saying hi to one another. I'm getting a few regulars on the stream, at least during the Mega Drive week. We've decided we will probably do either Battle Monsters on Sega Saturn or Vampire Savior for Fight Night. Get you a feeling of a... seeing as it's going to be Halloween themed. Battle Monsters being a game with sort of fighting monsters, and of course I don't need to say about Vampire Savior or the Vampire Chronicle. The Darkstalker series, which is the perfect fighting series for this time of Halloween. I'll be doing Super Ghosts and Goblins. I'll be doing the Ghouls and Ghosts tomorrow, I should say, not Super, Ghouls and Ghosts. Shoot the tip of them. Ah, there were spikes coming out, that's why. So yeah, apologies I won't be speaking as much during the stream, but you need to be on the guard to stay alive. I think these are such good shooters because they are slightly memory based, so once you begin learning the patterns of the enemies you can remember the formation. It's not like a cave shooter that just throws so much random elements at you each time. There's very much, everything is beautifully done with the Thunder Force game. I do love all of Tecnosoft shooters, they just made such superb games. They are now basically part of Sega, what's left of them, or at least the rights are. I think the company got bought up. I think a few of the people did now end up going to Sega. Sega did Thunder Force 6, but it'd be nice if they did Thunder Force 7 at some point. But yeah, I do need to really concentrate because these games do punish if you take your eye off the ball. Okay. Right, stay in the centre. And get blown up. Okay, the bosses are relatively straightforward as well. They do like to use bright colours, so it's easy to identify the attacks as well, which is another really good thing about these shooters. So you can tell these later bosses definitely tend to have multiple forms as well. I'm not going to try and... yeah, those things are immune to damage. Yeah, SNK's, not SNK, Tecnosoft stuff, their boss design is fantastic. You got some really big ships as well, like this one just coming up, which I really love. There's normally one stage in the later Thunder Force games where you're basically taking apart a massive ship, which is really cool. It just shows you the size of sprites they could get on screen. I really enjoyed Blastwind. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Bear in mind, Blastwind, I think, is supposed to be the start of the Thunder Force series as well. Because the main villain, it's Gorn. And basically the race as it goes into space. But it seems like Gorn would be... Orn is basically Gorn just missing the G. Which would imply that perhaps the enemies forgot to spell their name correctly later on as time went on. So yeah... Battle Monster, yeah, I know Battle Monster is pretty terrible. It's not the worst fighter I've ever played, but yeah, it's not exactly what you'd call a stellar example of the genre, to put it mildly. Got the music Tecnosoft managed to deliver on the Mega Drive, it's fantastic stuff. Why am I always doing that? Lost all my power-ups. Yeah, the bot, everything's just such a wonderful thing. So stage Cerberus, target Cerberus, weak point. Mission level normal. I'm running low on credits. As I mentioned, this is purely a memory shooter, so once you know... Oof, should have gone low. Or stayed high. Once you know what you're to do, and these shooters are actually relatively easy. As far as introducing beginners to shooting games, these are really... This Tecnosoft stuff's a really good franchise, and again, should have stayed high there. I think that one's actually in the centre. No, so I did really enjoy Blastwinds. I think it's superb vertical shmup. The fact you got different routes was really nice as well. So there was some nice replayability, I felt. Yeah, these great slip shaders are still... I think that there's one in 3, there's one in 4, there's definitely one in... Actually, I'm not sure there's one in 5. I suppose there's kind of one in 5, and then there's definitely one in 6. We do have a playthrough of 6 on the channel as well. On the PS2, that's a really good title. I'm going to use Hunter at the minute because the only downside of Hunter is it can be a bit random where it's going to hit, so... Curses, that's what I mean. Here we go inside it. Take down the reactor. Just going to slow myself down a bit. So I've got a bit more control. Basically changed. You've got 4 speeds, but that's the emergency part of the reactor. And there we go. Yeah, I think the memory shooters are definitely much more kinder to new players. I'm not a fan of necessarily said the K stuff because they can be very random, too much random for my liking. And in fact, I've even seen Cave like pro players say, "Oh yeah, you might be screwed at this like boss fight if the RNG's bad." If the game basically screws you randomly, basically you're going to get destroyed regardless of how well you perform. That's not good games design. That's rubbish games design. A truly good shooter is solely reliant on the skills of the player. So having random elements that mean you've got a guaranteed death is not good design. The only time cave shooters I think really work is when they have complete defences. Time steadily. It's been a few. Well, I'm doing actually quite well considering it's been some time since I last played through this. So I'm making all the classic mistakes of how did that kill me again? What's coming? But yeah, I mean this is a 1990 shooter, and you think how many sort of indie games it puts to shame. Done that again. Basically, a good tactic is to keep the pressure up on the enemies at all times. That way, which is something I'm not doing at the minute. I'm not keeping the pressure up. Okay, right. And I remembered that time which order they appeared in. So, but the claws are really, really helpful. Basically, this is one of those games. Once you know exactly what you're doing, ooh, that got me. You can finish this without dying with relatively ease, and even fairly inexperienced players can finish it without dying fairly quickly because the game's design is just so good. And once you get to master it, you can fully master this game without relying on random luck elements, and it's just a pure, just you, your skill, and a bit of memory, knowing where everything is. And knowing which weapons to use at which points. And again, what speed to actually travel at, because I just missed out on that little extra life. Sometimes the default speed can be a bit, 3 can be a bit fast, and 2 can be a bit just enough to manoeuvre through the slightly tighter, but when you pace up, you probably want to speed up. Should have stayed high. Lost my claw again. Yeah, I was lucky. We actually got... Blastwind was quite expensive, but not too bad. Hyperdual I got a very long time ago for about 80 quid, so I mean, it was pricey, but it was nowhere near what the current prices for Hyperdual are just ridiculous. Ironically, I prefer Blastwind to Hyperdual. So yeah, I want to speed through that bit to avoid that thing closing on me again. I'm actually looking out for Steam Hearts and on the lookout for the only shooters we're mainly after are Steam Hearts and Terra Cresta 3D, which are two of the more odder ones. What I have learned is do check the Japanese prices. There's a lot of Western sellers now just completely concoct the prices. So the price you'll be seeing in Japan and America, the price you'll be seeing in the USA compared to, say, actually Japan, in terms of proper like Yahoo auction sales. Yahoo auction tend to be relatively cheap, and bearing in mind auction sites should be the premium, but we've got some... It's disappointing the amount of people overselling stuff, and often there's lots of copies going around, they just want very expensive prices for it. The term rare is often overused far too much for many games. It reminds you a bit of R-Type. Must have missed the shot, I didn't see it. Occasionally there are one or two bits I think the game can be a bit manic, so... But yeah, the Saturn is a great shooter console. It's just a shame so many games on it are so pricey these days. It's beginning to get a bit out of hand, I have to admit. Oh, I missed the claw. Okay, let's give that another whirl, a bit more practice. Yeah, the Saturn's version of Steam Hearts has an interesting game mode where they tuned it more, so there's purely like an arcade mode that takes out all the sort of art content. I won't describe exactly what it is on this stream, but yeah, so the Saturn version, a lot of people said was better because there was an additional mode that really just turned it into a pure arcade game. I think probably my most underrated shooter on the Saturn is Guardian Force. That is fantastic. There's a sort of tank driving one. That's really, really, really good. Because I always remember that, because one of the magazines over here in the UK said it wasn't that good. And when we finally got a copy, so we didn't pick it up for a long time. We finally got a copy. I think the price of that has now spiked quite a bit, but we got a copy when it was still reasonable-ish, and it was very, very, very good. It was one of those games I thought, yeah, this is fantastic. So, putting what I know from the previous run, let's see if I can actually do better without dying as much this time around. See how far. I'll probably wrap up to the stream tonight fairly quickly. Yeah, I know Terra Quest is not that good. There are a few sort of mini-game ones. We were trying to see if we could find every single game with some sort of shmup mini-game. So hence the reason we picked up Tokyo Memories recently, because that had Twinbee Time Attack and Psy, which are both actually very good. Although I did learn quite a lot of the Tokyo Memory games, even a lot of the PlayStation ones have some interesting sort of shooter games with them. Some of the later ones actually had even more complex shooting titles. I was really impressed with a couple of them. It's interesting to know what people think is the best shooter on Mega Drive, because there's a lot of them. I've not actually played that many on the Mega Drive, but I do know that that first one always gets me. But yeah, if you want the full shooter set, you actually need one from the US, because of course there's the Midway Williams collection, which we covered. Yeah, Guiding Force was one of those games, even I played and got all the ending and everything, and I just thought, yeah, this is really, really good. It was one of those ones that I just, once you started playing it, I just couldn't put it down. But yeah, I'm interested to know what people think the best Mega Drive shooters are, because I haven't played too many Mega Drive shooters, so I know Thunder Force 4 is the, I know stuff got Element Down. Oh, you actually have the Midway Arcade collection, yeah. That's definitely one of the more obscure titles many people don't realise about. And I mentioned shooters. You've got the Atari one as well. But the Midway one is definitely the more obscure one. Strangely, the Midway one got released on Dreamcast in Europe. And, yeah, I don't know if you're American, SNK. Or if you're from the UK or Europe. But, yeah, because it's probably easy to grab. Because in Europe, we never got the Midway collection on Saturn. So it's quite tricky to grab. Yeah, everyone always says Thunder Force 4 is probably the best shooter on Mega Drive, and it's just to know if everyone thinks it's the sort of seminal title. Okay, I'm actually going to just let some of you guys might listen to the music for a bit. So I'm actually going to mute the mic for a few minutes and actually bump the music, because I know some people watching may just want to listen to the audio. Just to give you guys an actual listen, because I know the Thunder Force music is fantastic and so sought after. Okay, that was to let a few guys experience the soundtrack, because I know there'll be a lot of Thunder Force fans who want to listen just solely to the music, and I will at some point do a full playthrough, so don't worry about that. Now the Mega Drive RGB lead's working today, because I've actually gone back and double checked our Double Dragon video, and I noticed I can't have had it plugged in properly, or it was a bit loose because the colour's slightly off, so I might have to do a fix for that on the Double Dragon video. Well, I've already done a fix, it's just when we'll upload it, which is somewhat annoying. Oh, I've just missed the power up there. Oh, but I've already got the Fireway one. So yes, practice makes perfect in this case, especially with this game. So I'm doing better, but still making a few mistakes, getting down a few things. This does penalise a bit if you die, because basically having the claw makes the game incredibly easy. There are also a few bits where it feels like it's essential to have claw. Actually, a few hidden power-ups in case you haven't noticed on this stage, so actually. Each of the weapons do different levels of damage. So Hunter, although has the ability to home, is definitely the weakest weapon by far. I think it's even weaker than the default shot. Every time I get Hunter out of this bit, I always fail miserably. Okay, so this one I'm just going to literally do this. Park it up here. Just literally park the ship up here. And you see there, you take it down really, really quickly. Yeah, the gold pack is... I definitely recommend. These days, I'd probably recommend the gold pack over the, because the gold pack includes arcade, which you can't get on the Mega Drive. So, again, keep getting hit by that one. But I would certainly recommend if you're looking at your. Yeah. Hi, Rep Lawyer. Thanks for joining the stream. As always, guys, just to remind everyone, if you do like the stream, please do hit that like button. And again, if you're new to the stream and you like our content, please do consider subscribing to Randomised Gaming. Yeah, I thought I'd show off a game today that actually really showed off some of the Mega Drive's potential. And because we haven't actually really covered too many shmups in streams, mainly because I think they're quite short. So it's been a while. So this is definitely a memory shooter. So I not quite finished it. I can't remember if this is the last level or the penultimate level. Oh, I should have taken the lower route again. And I should have sped up again. Hunter's probably best for those guys. Those guys are quite annoying, actually. Not a game you want to sneeze on. All I say is thankful for the pause button. Yeah, the Saturn's well worth. The Saturn versions are definitely well worth playing, not least because they removed the slowdown in Thunder Force 4. And Thunder Force 4 also has some issues on the Mega Drive where there's too much sprite flicker at points that you can't see some of the attacks, which is an issue Holy Diver suffered with that we were playing with the other week. on the NES when I was showing some of the NES games. I know not many of you guys were NES fans, so I take it the NES isn't as popular as some of the Sega consoles we do on stream. Oh yeah, Thunder Force 5. I think all the Thunder Force games, 3, 4, 5 and 6 are probably the best of them. Arcade's decent as well. 2's not bad. I've never actually played the original, but I think the original Thunder Force, and what everyone said to me, is kind of best left as a sort of testament to the start of a series, because I think that was purely a 2D vertical one. The second game's rarely spoken of by most people, so it's a bit of an oddity. I think it was an X600. So Zero Wing is dirt cheap over here, so it's actually really cheap to get a European copy of Zero Wing. It's only like 20-30 quid. It's still really cheap. I imagine it might be expensive in the US because I know it wasn't released, but Musho Alessi I'd quite like to play. Oh yeah, I can imagine that's quite pricey these days, although there's that new collection coming out, but from my experience these days retro collections do not lower the price of the original version, sadly. I mean, there is quite a lot, like the Undead shooter. You have Slap Fight, which goes for insane prices on the Mega Drive these days. Elemental Master. I can't remember the shooter name. It's Elemental Master's the run and gun. That's quite good. No, it's called Elements something, or basically this really, really expensive, basically the ship combat one. Oh yeah, the controls on the Thunder Force games were always silky smooth. Yeah, the controls are always absolutely flawless. You can adjust the speed as well. I'm actually I'll go to 2 speed because that gives you more dynamic control. Oh, I should have gone high with that one. Finally got to the boss. Oh. I know a Mega Man X4 boss that uses 4 blocks to attack with. Come on, Ribbon. Keep it together. Need to get damage on this thing, though. Oh! And hi, welcome, Rep. Yep, good to see you all guys chatting. I'm getting some weird thing. There's a bug on YouTube at the minute where it keeps telling me there's no one viewing at the minute, and then it suddenly shoots back up. So they've been changing things and not correctly adjusting their website. Yeah, I will do a non-commentator playthrough at some point, but when I do a non-commentator playthrough, I won't be able to play through it on 1 credit at least. Dragoon has actually managed to finish Thunder Force 5 without losing a life. Right, let's see if we can do better this time. So I want to avoid those spike walls that come down. So things keep getting me the spike walls that come. Yeah, those things there. I want to avoid them. You can destroy them, but you have to hit the blue parts, and you can't always get the blue parts, so... It's just a shame this never got released in Europe properly. So there was only basically like a... But for someone, there was basically grey imports of the North American version in Germany, I think, and France, that just had a regional manual. So they're sort of technical releases, but not true releases. Let's get that one up, because that's quite helpful. We have covered Thunder Force 4 quite a bit on the channel, hence why I didn't cover it in today's stream. We will cover it at some point. Actually, some people really get quite angry when I've said I think I prefer the Saturn version due to the bassy audio. A couple of people are like, no, no, no. So it's quite interesting to see some of the fans perhaps taking things a bit too... Some of the Mega Drive fans taking things a bit too seriously. Oh, that was nearly... I nearly got killed there. I think my claw just saved me. So move quickly there, because that thing's going to shoot out a spike. Yeah. Yeah, the claws can destroy shots, thankfully, so... Yeah, just gotta watch those. It's those balls that explode with the lasers, you've got to get that, know that the angle and they're going to be coming at. It's amazing. It's been quite a while since I played through this, but this is just learning from the previous runs I've done on this stage. You've been seeing me do. I'm just going to remember where these things are and where they're going to hit me. So we've got the next reactor coming up next. And hopefully with laser I should be able to take it down very, very quickly. Yeah, you take down a lot more damage. Come on, come on, come on. Get it, get it, get it. Yes! Yeah, going to the 1 speed's really handy for tighter manoeuvring. So, same with the 2. The 3 can be a bit... Fanboys are going to be fans. Yeah, that's exactly that. As I've actually worked in development, you can't have that fanish attitude of Sega's better, Nintendo's better. It's case by case basis how you're using the hardware. But some people still... There are a lot of people who have very nostalgic childhood memories, and often that equates in their opinions and decisions, which unfortunately means you can't necessarily have a balanced or right conversation. Gotcha. So here we go with the Encore. I think this is the last stage. Let's go with max range. I really like this design of the stage. Ooh, straight to the boss is that. Ooh, now there's a boss attack. There's a shot type that reminds... Ow. Got 7 lives as well. Probably should have been a slightly faster speed at that bit. Boss 1 down. Oh. Ah, yes, that's right. This is the core they used in Thunder Force 6 as well. Except... oof, this is tricky. Yes! Oh! Is that it? Nice even to get a copy of Rainbow Island. Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of PAL titles. The randomized game has got quite a lot of PAL, access to PAL titles. A small number of US titles and a reasonable sized Japanese collection, because there are a lot of Japanese games that didn't get Western releases on the Mega Drive. But the problem is these days the price of them is really, really expensive. Whew, I wasn't expecting it to finish on stream. Practice makes perfect, I guess. There are some great power games. Fortunately, we've got two Mega Drives, a Japanese and a power one, so we can do big selection of titles with the hardware wise. Fortunately, most of them you can force most into 60 hertz, because most games weren't region locked. Some are, but not all. There goes with a complete. In a flash, the planet of Orn disappeared completely. Orn could no longer be controlled. Orn could no longer control the huge amount of energy that had accumulated after he lost his owner. The Emperor Orn has been the union of the Milky Way for a long time. What was his true character? It was a huge biocomputer which had been made in the beginning of the space age. Yeah, see, Blastwind, the villain's called Gorn, and it does sort of basically imply Gorn became Orn. Besides, his computer brain was developing extraordinary, and he began to have his own will. He denied the existence of human beings, and finally he exercised a program to kill the whole human race. It was evidential human beings who had given him this idea, therefore human beings should think of the meaning deeply. Anyway, the war was over. It's a bit of English there. And a peaceful time came soon. It might be for a short time, human beings. Think about what you have done. After the import mission was complete, Stikes turned over his airframe to the base fellows waiting for them. Turned his airframe to the base fellows waiting for them. Jean and Shirley, you might aware of the real meaning of true peace. Okay, so yeah, they're a lot cheaper in Japan though, so I think it's just people pushing up the price. I suspect the price will come down with a lot of Mega Drive titles. Thanks for the likes, guys. Very much appreciated. I'm going to wrap the stream up. You see our base. I do like this. They've actually done some proper big sprites for this, so even the ending's got like a unique carrier ship as you land in. There's also a trend in all the Thunder Force games to blow up the previous ship, which is quite amusing. So the next ship will end up blowing up the previous ship. I'll just let the credits roll and turn up the music. Yes, it was weirdly called Lightning Force Thunder Force 4 for some bizarre reason. Thunder Force 3 was also called Thunder Spirit on the Super Nintendo, another slightly odd one. So yeah, I don't know why they did the rename. It just seems silly. So yes, that is Thunder Force 3. No worries, 8-bit SEK. You obviously weren't listening to what I said. I said earlier, I said Thunder Force 3 didn't get a power release, the one we're watching. Oh, it didn't get an official power release. There's some manualed German and French releases, which were literally the US boxes with a French and German manual just slung in weirdly. So you got the US and German manual, some sort of variant, so kind of like a weird grey import. But yeah, officially Thunder Force 3 didn't really get a main power release. It's odd because Thunder Force 4 and 2 did, whereas I think in the US I don't think they got Thunder Force 2. But I can't quite remember. Definitely fun. I mean, they're still relatively cheap. The Japanese copies won't set you back too much, I think, at the minute. So if you want to get the Thunder Force games, but admittedly, if you've got the gold packs, you probably want to look at some of the other Japanese shooters. Stuff like Gnorg, which is really good, still very cheap-ish. Truxton. I mean, there's that new retro re-release. I think, was it Fire Sharks, Hellfire, Zero Wing, and Truxton were all getting reissued. There are a huge number of... I mean, there's a lot. There's stuff like Curse as well, Biohazard Battle, a lot of... Okay, you might find that there are some bootleg versions of Thunder Force 3 doing the rounds, because officially the only PAL versions of Thunder Force 3 were US versions with German and French manuals. Yeah, you can actually get Thunder Force 2 and 3 in a gold pack, or is it Thunder Force Arcade? No, yeah, it's 2 and 3, an arcade and 4, I think. Or is it 2 and an arcade and 3 and 4? But there's Thunder Force Gold Pack 1 and 2 on Saturn, so... There's lots of Thunder Force games on Sega Saturn. You can basically get all the Mega Drive games and the arcade game are available on Sega Saturn. The only one you can't get is the original Thunder Force, which is quite a sort of quirky thing. So there's 2 gold packs. One, I think it's actually 4 in arcade. Yeah, it's 4 in arcade are in one, and 2 and 3 are in another. So there's Thunder Force Gold Pack 1 and 2. The first pack was 2 and 3, and the second pack was 4 in arcade. Yeah, Gnorg's another shooter if you want. Fire Sharks. I said Truxton. There's Curse. It's like Eliminate Down. That's the other really good one that's really, really expensive. Slap Fight as well. Got an enhanced Mega Drive port that now goes for insane amounts of money. And of course, if you want truly insane prices, look up Dark Side, or Dark X-Ide as it's actually called, but it's actually that's a weird spelling of Dark Side, on the 32X. That will set you back about $5 grand, I think. That is a really, really expensive 3D shooter as well. Calibri as well on the 32X is really, really good and very expensive these days. Calibri's fantastic as well. We do have a video Calibri on the channel, but we did the video a long time ago, so it looks... Calibri's on my list of videos to be updated on the channel, to put it mildly. But that, ladies and gentlemen, has been Thunder Force 3. I'll just actually show you. You can do ABC and you press ABC and start. It brings up the options, and you can actually do a sound test. So I'll just play some music in the background just before I wrap up. So thank you all for watching, guys. Yeah, I must admit, I'm not a big fan of fan patches, as I usually find they're buggy and not as good as official translations, but I know with a lot of the games never getting fan patches, you've got no choice. Dragon Force 2 is quite a good game. Well, the Dragon Force 2 is not as good as the original. There's definitely a bug with the viewers at the minute. It keeps dropping out. Hi, Breadmaster. Apologies if you just joined the stream. We have just finished Thunder Force 3, so... Yeah, Stellar Assault's really good, as is Stellar Assault, the Saturn's version. The Saturn's version is a sequel. Yeah, apologies, I have just literally finished, so I'm just going to wrap up and just briefly chatting to you guys before I finish. You can actually do different game levels. You can actually select your default ship speed as well, so top, high, mid or low. High is probably the best one to start with. Your game level hard, manic. There's no easy mode either, so it's manic, hard and normal. Although technically you've got music tests. Yeah, we played through. Thunder Force 3 really is a fantastic title, and I highly recommend it if you pick up. I think it's still fairly cheap to pick up, so I do recommend it. We got a relatively cheap Japanese copy for like £20. Yeah, Stellar Assault, we have covered... I briefly included one of the Stellar Assaults. We have done a playthrough of the 32X Stellar Assault if you're interested on the channel. Quite a few games you guys mentioned we do have on the channel. Bulk Slash, oh yeah. The FM Sims drum, yeah. Yeah, Bulk Slash I need to do a video for at some point. The Saturn's version's weird. They did something on the cover so it sticks to the front of the case. They put some sort of embezzled weird thing that just melted over time. Yeah, Tecnosoft. There's one Tecnosoft game on the Saturn I would like to try. There's like a tactical RPG thing that's a bit of an odd one. That's quite an interesting. It's like Neki no Kedekuna, which looks quite interesting, and I keep meaning to try. It's the one of the few Tecnosoft games I haven't actually played on the Saturn. It's the one I want to try out. It looks a bit weird. It's nothing like any of their conventional games, but it certainly into sort of it looks like it might have some sort of strategy RPG related to it, but we'll have to see. But yes, this has been... I think we've got a load of people coming on stream now after I've finished it, so... Or maybe I'll quickly whack it on hard just to do a stage. Or just stick it on manic. Why not stick it on manic for a brief bit just to see the difference on the harder difficulty setting. So you've got quite a lot of people on stream just to show you what it's like when it gets a bit harder. Very much on the likes, guys. Yeah, it's... I don't think they're robot. They're like funny looking people with like long noses. It's got some really 2D... Looks almost like Paper Mario in some aspects of the visuals. It looks really good. I've never played it though. And I've never seen much video, so I need to track that down. So you may have seen our recent video of the Ludo game. That just no one had covered that, and that turned out to be quite an interesting take-on board game. So just going to pause this a second while I take off my. If I can quickly get on Manic. Manic's ironic, I think it's the Saturn's version. You can unlock there are actually unlocks if you beat it on certain difficulties in the Saturn's Gold Pack, which aren't in any of the Mega Drive versions, which are quite nice, and they're not particularly well documented, so I don't think too many people have actually spent the time to finish the Saturn's versions, but there are extras on the Saturn's collection. So yeah, Manic's not too much harder. The enemies shoot a bit more, but it's still... Tecnosoft games are still very balanced, say, compared to Cave, sort of bullet hells, and even Bam Presto's games that can become very bullet heavy. Actually, Truxton, I was tempted to do... I was having a debate whether to do Truxton for this video originally, or Thunder Force 3, but... Yeah, Thunder Force 4 is by far the king on the Mega Drive. The only downside with Thunder Force 4 is it pushes the Mega Drive to its limits, to the point that it does struggle a bit with Thunder Force 4. Thunder Force 4 is a game that just is too powerful, I think, for the Mega Drive. Oof, there's Manic. Yeah, I will definitely do... we'll definitely stream a lot of games, and we'll do normal videos as well. Most of these games I will do long plays, etc. So I will probably be taking next week off streaming, so there won't be any streams. So there'll probably be more videos, because streams have been... The downside of me doing streams is I have not been able to do as many streams and videos, and the one thing I will say is streams in the long term don't do at the minute as well as, say, videos. Videos tend to give us on the channel a lot more long term leverage, so I do need to get a few more videos planned. So will there be a Thunder Force 4 long play? Yes, I did mean to do a comparison video yonks back where we were looking at both the Mega Drive and the Saturn's versions, and I never actually got round to doing it. I recorded some of the footage, but it's probably worth me redoing a load now. So yeah, there will be full playthroughs of all the games at some point. I would like to do a single credit run on this, so there'll definitely be a single credit run for this at some point. Probably on the Saturn's version too as a comparison, but when that will happen I can't say. There's a lot of things I'd like to get done, it's just there's largely only me doing the video stuff, so... Just about, so there will be some Hertz coverage as well in the near future. Yeah, Manic's not too much harder, but you do have to just be a bit more aware of some of the enemies. I think the boss at this point is a bit of a... Oh, I can't believe I got hit by that, taking out that bit again. The boss is actually the hardest bit when it throws its like first fire wave, because it throws it at a slightly odd angle that's quite tricky to avoid. And there goes one of the power-ups there, you don't get long to grab that one. Now comes the boss. No, I've seen Mad Stalkers, I've not picked it up. Trying to pick up a lot of those non-official games is really, really difficult, and it infuriates me. It's like analogs consoles literally annoy me so much, because I'd be interested in them, but was trying to get them from actually importing them into the UK is a royal pain, because you've got to pay a ton of import duty on them if you get caught importing them. So they end up being really, really expensive. I think Analog are a bit amateurish with their outfit, to be honest. And a lot of those redone console things are the same. They are a nightmare to actually get hold of unless you're in the region they're released in. There's not actually an official UK distributor, so I'd quite like to see what that Mad Stalkers is like on the Mega Drive. I have seen people talk about it. It looked quite a nice little fighting game, but... there it goes down. Thanks to the offer, Breadmaster, but I'll try and source stuff myself at present. I've got a few friends out in Japan as well, so... Alright, I think you can go buy some of the Yahoo Japanese stuff. I generally like to source titles. So Manic's definitely a bit trickier, as you see. It's definitely still a good sort of test of your memory. You just need a bit more memory for Manic. If you don't remember where some of the tougher bits come in. A bit more shooting. You've got a few more like missiles coming in. But really, this shows you what the Mega Drive could do in comparison to SNES. A lot more sprites on screen in comparison to Super Nintendo. There are some good shooters on SNES. The Darius has actually a lot of enemies on screen. Parodius is a very good, but Konami were one of the few to get the very best out. I mean, Tecnosoft even struggled to purport this to the SNES in Thunder Spirits. Thunder Spirits is an exercise. I should show Thunder Spirits at some point. But maybe I'll just do a video of it just to show you what it's like. But Thunder Spirits is not... I should say Thunder Spirits is based on the arcade release. And for those who don't know, Thunder Force Arcade is this game with a few different levels. So it's largely got this game, but there are a few different levels. I think they just ported it with some of the... Yeah, the problem with a lot of those imports like PlayAsia is if you have problems with them, you're not getting your money back. Because I know a few people who've had problems with some of the sort of import stores and then been, because they're in different countries, you're not protected under UK law. Yeah, this stage is definitely not harder than Manic. But I will look at trying to source a lot of them at some point. What is interesting at the Mega Drive, a lot of people forget it didn't do very well in Japan, surprisingly. It sort of struggled in Japan, hence why the Saturn was their only success in Japan, weirdly. Sega. The Saturn was their only really successful console. The Dreamcast didn't do particularly well either. Yeah, the enemies definitely take a lot more damage in this. It's one of those weird quirks of the paint. The Saturn is widely regarded as a failure by a lot of people, but in Japan it was yeah, it does look really nice with the way it's warping. And this is really, really early. I'll give it one last shot on Manic before I wrap up. This is a really, this is 1990 for a Mega Drive game, which is early. I mean, Thunder Force 2... Oh, I keep getting hit by that, actually. Thunder Force 2 is 89, I think. Thunder Force 2, I think, might have been a port, actually. Whereas this was completely constructed for the Mega Drive. I'm not doing too well at this mode on this. This stage is definitely harder than the first one. You can, of course, pick your starting stage, but the game sort of pushes you towards the forest stage. So that's the one that throws the most power-ups and is definitely the easiest stage. And then you can't pick your stage once you go into the sequence. So basically you get to choose your first stage and then it's off from there. That's a terrible run. Yeah, I'm not too clued up. The PC Engine is one of those areas, so the PC Engine's I've never really been a big PC Engine fan, so I don't really know huge amounts about it. We've got a few games on the sort of emulator stuff they did, like the Wii U and the Wii, but I've never really spent that much time to research it. I was offered a Duo a long time ago, but there's so many other... I'm always in the mindset now the PC Engine is largely just a lot of arcade ports. I know Hudson did do some very nice original games, but it's interesting because they did release it. I think they did release it in Europe and in North America, but it just never got traction as a console. So I don't think that either was particularly well supported. I think it did better in the US. It was released in Europe, but it's one of those obscure things you're like, really, it was released? Mate, if I get to the boss on this stage. I mean, I would like to cover more PC Engine stuff, so I did look up Rainbow Island on the PC Engine. That definitely looked like the better version, I have to admit. There's even a nice a sing-along song at the end. And I did research, so you know we had that weird ending when I finished it. By all accounts, it seems the original version of the game on the Mega Drive version does not include the bonus islands, which I think is actually a bug with the version. Oh, so it didn't actually get an official release in the UK. Yeah, so it never stood a chance, yeah. Give one last shot. Managed to get to the boss. So you see, Manic's definitely a bit tougher. You really have to be on the ball, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, the controls, there's just so little slowdown for this one. Thunder Force 4 does struggle a bit. I think Thunder Force 4 really did push the limits. And Thunder Force 4 is still a relatively early-ish Mega Drive title. It's surprising the fact they didn't do any more. Tecnosoft had a weird period where they seemed to do nothing after Thunder Force 4. I'm almost of the mindset they were a bit disappointed with the Mega Drive performance of 4, so... Shield, lasers, right, let's use the lasers. Shoot down. But hopefully get the boss soon. Yes, got him. Yeah, don't get long. A lot of the power-ups seem to have quite limited runs in this difficulty as well, so a lot of them are like just thrown at you randomly. And also the ships will often seem to disappear a lot quicker. Let's go for that. Yeah. I'm feeling quite good about this run on this difficulty. Ooh, that's bad. Oh, I just lost half my power-ups. Did you lose all your power-ups on that? Because I had most of them. And you died. And there we go. Let's see what you guys Yeah, I think with PC engines looking like I think the other concern is that CDs might be dying soon, so I do think the prices are inflated at the minute. I suspect there may be an adjustment in the near future because of the current world events, sadly, but so I think there is an overinflation at this point. It's not a good run on these. There we go, I'm going to finish there. Yeah, it's quite, I mean, in comparison to it's a relatively youngish Thunder Force 4, considering the fact that I've got like go look up Jurassic Park The Lost World. I will actually do a video on that in the near future. That is a stunning Mega Drive title. That is 1997. But it's a really, really impressive Mega Drive title. That's really, really impressive. So that is just a glimpse of Manic Mode. You can see how much harder it is compared to the normal playthrough, which I did at the start of this video. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thanks very much for joining me on stream. I was hoping to get a video out on the channel tonight for the new Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle that was on Stadia. I won't be getting out tonight, but it will be coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. That's quite good fun, actually. I quite enjoyed that demo. That's apparently releasing on Stadia on the 17th, and I will be doing a Bomb Man stream as well, in case you've got some people wondering about Bomb Man. In fact, I'll put that up tomorrow. For you guys on the Mega Drive streams, I'm going to carry on doing the Mega Drive titles for... I'm going to carry on doing the Mega Drive titles the rest of the week, so we will have... I think we'll probably do one of the Splatterhouses on Thursday. Tomorrow I will be doing not Super Ghosts and Ghouls. I'll be doing Ghosts and Ghouls, which is Ghouls and Ghosts, the sequel to the original Ghosts and Goblins. So, yep, that's cool, guys. But yeah, I'll be doing Ghosts and Goblins tomorrow. Very much appreciate you guys having me on stream. So, yeah, we've actually got 3 Saturns. One has been broken for a long time, but the CD drive still works, in case you're wondering. And the other 2, we've got Power 1. They're still really strong, but I've had a PS2 die on me. Yeah, the Saturn hard drive, the Saturn CD drive seems to be a lot tougher. Touch wood. Certainly had them going. So cool for the information, guys. I'll say thank you as well. So yes, Splatterhouse 3. We've got Splatterhouse 2 and 3. I think 2 slightly... We've only got the PAL version of 2, and that's slightly PAL optimized. So although 2, I think, slightly more arcadey. 3's the much more interesting game. I think 3's a really underrated game, so I'll probably do Splatterhouse 3. So that might be quite fun to watch. Bit of horror mixed in. And we'll be doing Ghouls and Ghosts tomorrow. So it'll be Capcom's classic, another reprogrammed gem, but I'm sure if you know what Ghouls and Ghosts is, you'll know. We've already covered the original arcade version. We haven't actually covered the Mega Drive version on the channel. I doubt I'll be finishing it in tomorrow's video, but we'll see how far I can get for fun. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, great pleasure, guys. Thank you to everyone who's been on stream. So I will say a thank you to my commentators. 8-Bit SNK Boy, appreciated. Night Co, thanks for joining again. Share, thanks for joining as always. You guys are very much welcome to keep joining. Thanks to Rap Lawyer as well. And of course, Breadmaster as well for coming on stream as well. You guys are all chatting away about the Mega Drive as well. Nice to see. You're getting a nice little community. Very much appreciated. As always, I'd say thank you for all joining the stream. Yep, that will be tomorrow's stream, Ghouls and Ghosts. I need to actually check that's not regional. No, it's one of those games that if you put in the Japanese Mega Drive goes to the Japanese version. So I will be digging that up and streaming that tomorrow if you want to watch. I do love the Ghouls and Ghosts music as well. Some of the stuff's really good. But that will be slightly Halloween themed stream for the last of the weekend. I said we'll be either doing Vampire Savior, also one of the Darkstalker series, or Battle Monsters on the Sega Saturn. I think I'm airing towards Battle Monsters because I've not played it that much, and I know how hilariously funny it is when you watch it in videos. So I think you can people do that you can laugh at just how what a bad game it is, but also in a fun bad game way. So, but that's it for the night. I'm going to wish you a good night, a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are in the world. Thank you all very much. I will see you all tomorrow in tomorrow's stream. As I also mentioned, we will have a new video going out tomorrow. So that will be a look at Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle on Stadia, which is a new sort of 64 battle thing that's also coming to other formats as well. So thank you all for watching, everyone. Please do hit that like button if you enjoyed the stream. One final reminder, and of course if you're new to the channel and you do like our content, do hit that subscribe button. I am doing streams every night from 9:30 for every weekday, although I'll probably be taking next week off streaming. But I'll leave it there. Thank you all for the comments, guys. Thank you all. Been a pleasure as always. I'll see you all tomorrow.